Hi, today is April 15th, 2021, and I'm going to read on how Vladimir Putin is feeling about the new tough sanctions that Biden is putting on him. And I saw it, many other readers saw it, common sense would dictate it anyway, but so that's happening. And I just want to take a look in at Putin, see how he's doing, because he was willing to do all of this, and now the day has come where he has to begin to face consequences. So I want to take a look at it. So I'm just going to dial in, and I ask the Creator, the source of love, truth, life, and I ask my spiritual mentors to assist me so I can read without losing my voice and to read accurately and clearly. So let's have a look at what we need to know about Vladimir Putin right now regarding how he's feeling, and especially regarding the sanctions that Joe has so generously given him. How does he feel now that things are coming to where he has to bear the consequences? What do we need to know? Okay. Well, here we have the Emperor. This is a Vlad. And this is Joe, because, you know, they're both leaders of nations. The Page of Cups. Bit of a surprise. Something is a bit of a surprise to Vlad. So this is what I feel, because I did ask how is he feeling, and I feel like the tarot is agreeing to address it. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it's like, no, we're going to talk about this. It's so funny how the tarot is. Once you kind of get to know it, it has its own little ways about it. I'm sure other readers feel that and sense that too out there that are watching this, if I'm so lucky to have you watching this. But anyhow, this to me is, I feel like I'm being shown Vladimir, and he's gotten a little bit of something he didn't anticipate. That does show up. So that's interesting. Okay, let's keep going. I'm just going to continue to read in pairs. And this, if you're wanting to know, I love this deck. I think its artwork is beautiful. I just wish there was a little more diversity in it. I just like to see that because that's real life. But it's beautiful artwork. Anyhow, it's Mystic Mondays. That's the name of the deck. If you're curious. Now back to the reading. So let's see what Vlad looks a little surprised about. Let's see what the other cards will share, if any extra light on that. If not, I'll get a clarification one way or another. The Five of Swords. Well, we're dealing with his bully behavior. His denials, his deceit, and his crossing the line with hacking into our systems, and just his overall effery, shall we say, without dropping that big bomb. And there is going to be, this is the consequence of his actions, truly, with judgment. It's like you're going to be held to account. And this tells me he really will be held to account for his interference and his pushing people around, intimidation tactics, all of that, just the whole bag that goes with his criminality and aggression and disregard for boundaries. Still not quite getting what he's finding to be such a surprise. Maybe some of the severity he's, that's my guess. Let's just see, though. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay, there is clarity. And I have a feeling he will respond back with a very somber type of a response. I can just, yeah. He's not, it is to do, I believe, with sanctions, and it looks, he's being put in a timeout. There's a childish element that he's being treated with that Page of Cups when I'm looking at it this way. Knight of Wands and the Two of Cups. Okay. Well, oops. Go ahead and put this there too. This is the Nine of Swords falling under. He's going to end up very anxious. Look at that card. I love this artwork. It really shows the expressive with the eyes of, like, this is the Nine of Swords. This is anxiety. This is lack of sleep. This is concern and worry. He knows now, with the Emperor, the Ace of Swords, and the Nine of Swords, that time is upon him. He will be in the future, once it's defined for him what he can expect, very anxious. It will put him in a tight spot. So now when we go down this way with the Page of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the Eight of Wands, it's like he's been waiting, and he doesn't know exactly what it's going to be. But once it goes active, it's going to put him through extreme pressure and anxiety. He acts like he doesn't care, but he will care, because it will put him in a very precarious position quickly. That quickly builds. Attention will quickly build from the sanctions put upon him. This has to do, he's getting the moderation card about minding his own business. It really does. Excuse me. And staying in his own backyard, not going and messing up other people's stuff. His activities. Now he's crossed the line. With interference and aggression in the world, killing dissidents and civilians of other countries. I think all of this is going to, there's that feel to it, especially the recklessness and disregard that he's done with regards to, like, the UK and other countries, the Ukraine. just his general effery, shall we say, the F word, effery. So, the Page of Swords. He is going to be looking to see, again with the moderation aspect, he's going to have to look at moderating some of his behavior. That's very clear. And it looks like he will be feeling the pressure in the future. And I feel that he's going to feel his society rising up and pressuring him for reform and for moderation, for the right balance in that nation. So I feel like the sanctions that we put on him, I think other people may join us in these sanctions at some point. I've always felt that, but I do feel that it kind of puts the screws down, it tightens the pressure on him. There was something I was getting and it just jumped away from me. I was looking down this row. Okay, with Judgment, the Two of Cups, and the Page of Swords, his steps of who he is allied with, there is more understanding that is going to be had. I feel like he's being watched, that our sources have been watching and studying, and they are more aware than he's perhaps aware that they're aware. I am getting that. And this has to do with the significant partners that he has in the world, China, etc. I did get that. And it was just like a wisp. Sometimes it takes me a moment just to rest my gaze. He is definitely going to be called on the carpet for his aggression with boundaries and the Ukraine and his building up of forces. He's going to, this is kind of the first numbing smack on the paws, but that will be real pressure once they activate and kick in, once it's formalized. I definitely see that. And it is to get him to stop being such a jerk, to moderate his behavior, and that to let him know that it's a different game now. We're aware of his tactics, we're watching him, and we'll tell the whole world as well, and we're not going to take it. It's a different game now, which means I just feel like it's pretty juicy. Knight of Cups. He's going to make some kind of offer, or there's an offer. He wants to maybe he's going to try to work something out. Asking for help. He's going to be saying that he needs help. He's going to try to put the U.S. is really hurting our country, and it's him that's hurting his own country. I do see that in the future. Yeah, and here's the delusion with the Seven of Cups. That's the gaslighting that he's going to be gaslighting that sob story that we're horrible. You know, we're singling them out. He's such a shitheel. I really feel like he's going to try to push this image that he's some kind of truth teller. That he's, but he's just a gaslighter, and I see him definitely doing that. I see this has to do also. I always get this is the poisoning with him. This card always comes up when I'm reading on him, and it's like, he's a poisoner. And it's like, yeah. I mean, the tea, when I'm thinking back to, oh, shoot. His name is Chenko, something, but, the fellow that he poisoned, he had his tea poisoned. And he had also Navalny's, I believe, poisoned. This is just the further attempt to gaslight and orchestrate a narrative that's full of baloney, that's confusing, nebulous, gaslighting. But particularly, I believe, where the poisonings are concerned. Okay, I'm feeling like this is an oligarch here, a King of Pentacles, or it could be representing them. This is their desire to grow their economy, and the sanctions will put them in a hard spot, and they'll in turn put the pressure on Vlad. So we see them trying to earn some money here, but look how small it is. It's so hard. It seems for them, and they're trying. It looks like they're trying to come together to save their business economy, which really isn't much. But it just shows that it's It looks like I just feel like it's a kind of a group effort to get a little bit of progress. And this could be someone that ends up speaking out about their economic situation to Vlad. But it looks very meager. The Devil and the Queen of Cups. I feel like this is potentially another kind of a natural disaster. I just got a flash, but I could be wrong, so let me just see the other cards. The Three of Swords and the Ace of... Yeah, I'm feeling that this is illness. And probably COVID. But there is illness that people are feeling. And this is out of control. There is not good framework, a good overhead person directing things. There's corruption directing things. So things are not healthy. And again, definitely water. And that's why I'm like, is this what is going on? Is this some kind of natural or man-made disaster? Or is this the likes of COVID? Because there's definitely something here to do with, I believe, illness. Okay. And I was just also feeling like this could be making someone sick here. There is definitely illness. And I feel like it could be COVID, and it's just overflowing, whatever this is, and it's not under control at all. I feel like something has just spread, and it's creating illness. Okay, this is Vlad, King of Swords. And it's connected. He is connected to this corruption. He is responsible. He is connected. And his response, though, is hasty. He's trying to make sure that he's okay, that he has what he needs. I think this is probably COVID, and maybe it's a bad uptick of illness, but I see some kind of problem here where there's contagion. Pardon the grumble of my tummy. There's definitely something here. Oh, let's go ahead and throw that other card down here. King of Wands. Okay. This could be somebody that he utilizes to... Oh my gosh, but I think this is also spreading the not just the disease that makes people sick, but my goodness, of course, things like Novichok, and he will be, it looks like, of course. Sometimes you can look too hard, right? It's right there. This is him being criminal with and reckless with it. It ends up making people sick. It goes beyond the target with the Ace of Cups, and this is him because he just wants it done. So it's like just he's reckless, and I feel like he pays people. This is like a mercenary to go and do it. They make very good money. This could be one of the people one of the men that he uses, and it would be a fire sign, a King of Wands, who doses, or I feel like who has dosed and used agents. I think he will be outed identity-wise in the future, down the line, in connection to other, they might already know, but I think I know that they certainly know in certain cases, like with the Scribbles. I think that's how you say their name. But it's like, is he going after somebody again? It kind of looks like it, or they're looking at his order. Definitely, because what I see here is him hiring someone, and I feel like this is someone who makes good money. They work for themselves. And hitman. And an independent contractor is hired quickly. Okay, I do get that. And it looks like it could make other people sick, because there isn't care. There's spillage. It goes beyond perhaps the initial target even, but it definitely ends up, it's something that makes people ill, and I do believe it's a liquid. I kept getting liquid. I certainly hope he will not be continuing to try to do that. Okay, there's Biden, I think. And the Six of Swords, yes. Biden will be doing, this will be an effective tactic. And I see Biden being able to move things for our nation in a better direction. And definitely we're going to be feeling like, yeah, Vlad needed this with what he did to our country and what he's put us through via Donald Trump for the last 5 years. So that is what I feel like I'm being shown. I feel like this is America effectively dealing with him. We will definitely, and Biden will definitely have the upper hand. That shows up. Yep. Yes. This is where Biden says, you stay out of our yard. You are not permitted. And so I think some of the people, I think there are going to be people here that are, where there's overindulgent type, and especially people that I'm feeling, I just had it. Well, okay, I get it. He's going to be letting him know, the gravy train that you had with Trump and all these stupid representatives that you corrupted with Donald, that's over with. The padlock is on. You don't have access to the goodies anymore. So Biden is shutting off Vlad's smirking that he's had basically for the last 5 years, his source of satisfaction. And it is a kind of a sleazy way. Vlad thinks it's cool that we've suffered the way we have, as you know, in the last 5 years. But he doesn't know how strong we are. And he's going to find out. But we're going to do it with class and with intelligence, literally. And we're not going to be hurting anyone more than him, firstly, because the bad crap that the people end up having to endure, they're already not happy. It will put Vlad more and more at a disadvantage, and that's what makes significant cracks in this monolith of power that he's had for years on end now. It's ready to have a tower moment. So I feel like Biden puts the padlock on Vlad being able to have his smug enjoyment and access to certain, I think, also goods, things. It's like, nope, and you don't get to have that. You are verboten. You don't get to have that. These are sanctions. This is that suspension, putting someone in a suspended state. That's the sanctions. So we're tracking. I love this deck. It's so pretty. Two of Swords. And we don't let it up. We don't let up. This is the Two of Swords, which says we do not alternate. We don't change it. It stays as it is, because they will not change until he's not doing what he's doing. And Biden's going to teach Vlad about the whole thing of the follow-through effect of a leader that will follow through with what he says. Biden is not to be toyed with. He is a charming man, but do not underestimate him. Do not. And he has good advice, and Joe is sensible and willing to listen to others advising him enough that he's going to be just fine. And I think people underestimate Joe because they think he's older or whatever. I'm telling you, the guy I'm telling you, the dude, if he has to be, it can be very, very serious, and you don't want to push him there. Vlad will find out, because with that Six of Wands, he's determined to be the victor in this. Biden is. And the Page of Wands, he will be like, that's good. And he will actually, his sanctions will have a effect. They win. He will win this war, so to speak, with the Six of Wands. This is the winner that goes into battle, and they are declared the victor by their efforts. And I feel like that shows up. So I feel like it's saying these sanctions will not be prematurely lifted, altered, or changed. They will be held in place, and it will be effective. And there's success for Joe with that. And this is Putin, of course, not able to do anything about it. He just has to endure this. Okay, let's see what else we're being shown. Now, one thing about this, I just got a hit off of travel. I think Putin will make it difficult for people to travel from the United States to Russia. I feel like there will be, he may be looking to see what he can. Hi, today is April 15th, 2021, and I'm reading on Vladimir Putin and Joe's hardcore sanction tea that he is serving Putin. Putin's used to serving people Novichok and tea, but now he's going to have hardcore sanctions. That's what I've seen in the past, and I've seen that they will affect him. So I'm just kind of circling back around to take a look at how he feels about it and what the universe wants to share with us in regards to the sanctions and the consequences, how it will play out for Vladimir Putin. And I ask the Creator to assist me to read accurately and clearly, and my spiritual mentors, and to help me as well. And I give thanks. And I ask to relate what it is that we need to know, what the universe, what the Creator feels we need to know about Putin and how he's feeling about this, these sanctions, what it will mean for him in, real life, and just what the universe, I trust the source to let me know what I need to let you know. What do we need to know with regard to Putin and these sanctions that Biden is putting on him? How is he feeling about that? And what will happen? What is the effect that we can expect? Or just what do we need to know? All right, I'm using the Mystic Mondays deck. If you're curious, it's a really nice deck. And it has a silver foil edging. Fairly thick cardstock, but of course the way I shuffle, my decks get dog-eared. So anyway, on to the reading. We get the Four of Swords. So yeah, this puts the brakes on. And there's not a lot he can do about this. So where I'm looking at also, just like where activities are concerned with Russia and with Vlad, I see him in a place of retreat with this Four of Swords. This is a card of retreat. So he will be retreating back on the world's, I think, stage once these sanctions kick in. That's the overall energy covering him. Now, crossing him with these sanctions, the King of Cups, this is Biden. This is Joe Biden. King of Cups, he's a Scorpio. And this to me is the trade. This to me is sanctions. This to me feels very much like that. And he's going to make it so that Putin has to retreat from his antics. He's had 5 years of not being in check, before the Obama was there. And he didn't get away nearly with as much. Not like he's used to. So this is going to feel extra confining, I'm sure. Not that Vlad has ever, not done what he wanted. But I think this time the game is a bit different. The King of Pentacles, this is business, the oligarchs, I feel like, is the basis. And the economy, with this King of Pentacles, I'm feeling like. Okay. If more comes from that, I'll let you know. Sometimes crowning him is the Eight of Cups, is the card of having to step away from power, of having to step back, step away. And not just step back, but like you go somewhere else, like you abandon, you leave, basically. You leave. And I feel like this is him leaving power, ultimately. I think the sanctions are going to be part of a very significant set of circumstances and consequences that put the cracks into the monolith of power he has built over the years. The universe is going to pull it out from underneath his feet. And this is one of those things that puts the cracks in the power, the consolidation of power that he's been able to achieve. Okay. Recent past is the Page of Cups. This to me was Vladimir being amused by his antics in a very childlike way of what he was doing to our nation. It's like toying. Oh, isn't this funny? Oh, that's amusing. That's what the energy feels like to me. And I think Biden knows that. And so he's going to serve him up some tea that's a little bit of a surprise as well. Some things that he knows that Putin will not be anticipating. He's now playing with fire because he's dealing with a real leader. And I think Putin may have gotten used to the idea of having chump around for 5 years that he could treat like a lapdog. And now we have the intelligent German Shepherd that's ready to go, you're not going to do this anymore. Here we have the Queen of Wands. And I'm wondering, Angela Merkel came to my mind for some reason. But let's just continue. It does affect their economy. And it will trickle down, of course, from their government being affected, and it's I just got the sense of like there's the government money and then there's the people, and I've just picked up that this hits on both levels. Let's just see what else we have. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This is because one has stubbornly kept at us going in a certain direction, and this is Putin. He has been locked on getting revenge because he's still got that old Kremlin idea about the West. He's still like, the West is our enemy. It's weird. But his experience, I think, when he was working in Eastern Germany, I think really, and for a Libra, it's kind of weird as well, but it really created a very specific, like the dutiful, like just dutiful to this bull crap. And that's part of the reason why it's not going to continue on. It's gone on for way too long as it is. His thug leadership. In the environment is asking for help. Six of Pentacles. So I think Russia will ask for help because they are not going to have these loops, I feel like, of business that help their economy on some level. I think Biden's sanctions are going to be pretty just very effective. I'm definitely getting it. It's just hard to find the right words for all the thoughts and the feelings that's coming through. And with this in the environment, unfortunately, the people are going to need help because it just shows. This is also, again, about the poisoning of people and them needing help, and how the rest of the world has had to help poor dissidents that try to get away but end up getting, like Navalny, like I think it was another Alexander. Darn, his last name is a bit long. He was Ukrainian. But I'm feeling like that aspect of his doing that, because part of what he's being sanctioned for is for dosing people with Novichok. And putting that in the environment where the civilians come across it, and just the act of itself is just criminal. I also believe the Six of Pentacles are the other nations that are asking for help. Very much so, because of Putin's activities of building up at the borders, of flexing. Okay. Now, the hopes and fears with Putin is the Six of Cups. He fears, I think he wants, no, it's more of what he wants. He wants that nostalgia of the old past, some kind of nostalgic idea of the past. And it's just not, it's a fantasy. It's not going to ever happen. But that's what he holds out for. He wishes he could make it this ideal fantasy of their communist past. We get the Two of Cups as the end result. And I'm curious what that's going to mean. So I'm pulling Death and the Hierophant. There's going to be an end, a radical change to the old ways, to the traditional ways. He will be challenged on that. Putin will be. The Two of Cups I feel like he's looking, of course, for a partner. That could be China, but he's looking for support in the world. But I just see that it's a different world now. And that's definitely indicated here with Death and the Hierophant. It's not the same way that it used to be. It's not the same tradition. It's not the same setup. The world has changed. It's changing. Okay. I still want to know more about that. Okay. Four of Wands. This is in the public arena. And that includes the world's eyes. It is accessible to the public. I feel like I feel like these sanctions are going to be extremely effective. And it does create a radical change in the old order. And the people have more, it looks like, of an effect finally in their government over there. I'm just not satisfied with that Two of Cups. Let me just very quickly try to clarify with a different deck that Two of Cups. What's that Two of Cups? Why? Sometimes, it's staring me in the face. Well, it's often staring me in the face. It's whether or not I pick it up. Later, I'd probably look at it and go, oh, God, why didn't I get that? But let's just get some clarification on that Two of Cups using the Bonfire Tarot. What is that about? What can you share with me, Tarot? Clarify that Two of Cups for me, please. So we're looking. The more transparency. The public wants a more transparent government over there too, obviously. And that shows up with the Page and the Four of Wands. And they're active. That Two of Cups deals with reaching an end. I believe that he is looking for, he's going to be looking to his allies. Putin will be looking to his allies in the world, but there will be less of them. I just feel like it's paltry again. His economy doesn't look like it's going to do well, and his support from outside nations looks also much less, or not as robust. He'll have his help there, but it's going to make him have to be dependent, I believe, interdependent on much more than he wants to be given him with other powers in the world, because he's doesn't want to lose power. So he's trying to consolidate his power at the end of the day. I just don't think it's going to work. Yeah, there's a loss of power, and his economy is going to be really in a bad way from these sanctions. The Ace of Pentacles, coins, and the Five of Cups. There's bankruptcy, there's loss. It will affect the bigger business people, and those are the oligarchs. I do always get that. Yeah. And I see an outpouring of emotion, I feel like, from mothers and caretakers, particularly, also. So I think that in the economic sector, this will be problematic for him. In the PR sector, it's going to be a problem for him. There's going to be a lot of demonstration, people being very passionately outspoken regarding being able to care and clothe and feed and look after their families, this sort of thing, and receive, I think, also proper care. I think there's going to be a crisis with medical care over there too when I saw that with the illness, but oh, that was another reading I did on him. Let's just see what else we get with these cards here. So yeah, he's going to end up with a great deal of anxiety over the income and trying to make his economy better as a result. This will really smack him in the jaw in the economy. Right in the economy. And again, yeah, he's going to be looking to partners, allies, but oh my gosh, he has the death card. So there's going to be an end of, I don't know why, but there's going to be some kind of end of his ability to network. Certainly with some people that, of course, get caught and in trouble on our end, but it's like he doesn't just use Americans. There's other people that he has contacts with. And it looks like there's a problem there. There will be an ending, a significant or radical change with regard to those that he has depended on to help his economy. They don't want to be involved. There's a lack of any kind of activity of reaching out or helping. There's a law. There will be laws in place, I feel like, that prevent, because they're under sanction. Wow. So I'm being given that, yes, Joe's sanctions are going to definitely affect the economy, and it will put Putin in a very difficult position. And it looks like finding support even will be problematic. He'll have a bit of support with the Two of Cups, but the Three of Pentacles, business-wise, economy-wise, he has death. And that's a radical change and an ending. And it doesn't look like it's a radical change for activity. It's still, there's no activity. And there are rules that are being, they're under sanction. And people are holding to that. The world, yeah, there's the sanctions. They're isolated in that sense. That it will really greatly affect Russia in their ability to act in the world. Because I do believe other countries may join in with this. And America sanctioning them, it looks like it will have a significant impact at the end of the day. Yeah, Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. It will put them through more hardship. And I'm sorry for the people, but they've got to get rid of him. Justice and the Knight of Swords. This is karmic. This is definitely what he has coming to him. And he's going to find a quickening, I think, also, where more instant karma, when he tries to do things, it's like the devil's lease of his ability to get away with stuff is coming up, and He doesn't have that protection like he used to. Now he's being held to account for his actions in the world and being punished. And it does hurt and have an effect. Now there was the 4. The 5 is still struggling. We're dealing with and bullying. Oh boy. So I feel like there's going to be an uptick also in crime because the economy is poor and people are struggling. More people will be out on the street in Russia. They're going to see an uptick, I think, in homelessness and illness. I think you're going to see much more unrest and police presence, military presence, because people are going to be becoming more and more distressed and wanting to protest. They're not willing to just sit back and take it. This bullying. The Sun and the 6 of Coins. So what will be clear is that a change will be coming, definitely, where they will go in a better direction. And I do think this could be definitely that this bullying energy is going to have to go, because I feel like the people there need food and crops, and it goes in a better direction, but I'm not sure. That's quite a jump from being very poorly, and there's a bully here, and the clarity is on needing to go in a better direction. And I think the people realize he's the problem. Yeah, they know that already. But there he is, the Emperor, and the 3 of Coins. It's him, and Putin has 2 other countries, China and probably another one I'm not able to think of, that are really, that work with him. And I believe this is him desperately trying to reinflate and get deals, business deals, economy deals going. But there is a problem with that 5 of Wands. There is fighting, there is arguing, there is disagreement. It could even get to where there's maybe coming close to physical blows. And there's this need to physically win that fight. So I think you're going to see a really militant street presence. And I feel like he's going to become more ruthless because he's determined to, quote unquote, win. But that's not going to happen. Strength and the Star. I think that Russia will go through a revolution with getting rid of him. And it will really be the thing that will be riveting to the world because of this dictatorship and the endurance of the Russian people, which is astounding. My heart goes out to them. They're very enduring. And they're not, I think they might finally, 3 of Swords and the Moon. this is hidden. There's like people betraying each other. I think there's somebody that could betray him at the end of the day, Putin. And they're keeping it real low. And there's a problem with illness. There's a problem with, I think, I really get that again. I think that they'll be trying to cover it up, but I feel like this creates, there's an issue with illness. People not having what they need. And this will go on for a time. This is the Wheel of Fortune. This is a duration of period, a karmic period. 9 of Swords. That will have people very much on edge. Trouble sleeping. Again, I feel like it's COVID type of feeling here of illness. So it could be another wave of that going on there. And I feel like some of their vaccines or something are not effective. There's some issues. Something not right. Page of Cups. And the King of Swords. Well, that's Vladimir. I just don't think he's going, it's going to take him by surprise. And I believe this 8 of Wands and the Ace of Swords is activity that ends, that picks up very quickly to end his rule. Like it's finalized. And I feel like this is the people. And again, I got the word revolution, people's revolution against tyranny. And Vladimir's the devil, so yeah. And against his oppressive tactics. So we definitely see this back and forth going on between Putin and his populace. And Joe's sanctions will definitely have an effect. I got that last time, 2 of Cups. And there's a dutiful... There's allies. I think the Russian people will receive help from the world. Very caring help outpouring. And their continued effort to, I feel like, bring more harmony into their leadership. But to me, this really feels like outside support of like, we support you, just let us know what you need or whatever. This is, I feel like, the people having more choice. And this is being given more choices, offered more choices in government. And so there's going to be a really big change. And I do believe, yeah, they'll get rid of him. He will not be in power. There's a need to moderate those that and have lost any feeling, that have lost any kind of empathy or interest. I think they have been so long oppressed that the people are just like, meh. Some people do. So there's a need for people to care. There's the need of a balance brought to some people emotionally. And they definitely need that in their government because they've never had that. I don't think God when ever. Yeah, I feel like back and forth. There's they will work to build up their economy. There's a bit of a delay that'll come. But I believe that this is one of those things at the end of the day that could be helpful in having perspective that one wouldn't have ordinarily. And that Two of Pentacles is, I feel like this is the juggling, the trying to get their economy up off the ground. I see a man that's full of nostalgia. He could be somebody that's up for trying to have power, but I don't feel good about him. I feel like that nostalgia is for some golden yesterday that never was. Let's just see if I'm off or if there's anything that just getting more activity. I feel like these would be people that are running, or trying to be in positions of leadership. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And I'm seeing 3 people here, 2 men and a woman, King of Coins, a King of Wands. I don't think, well, the problem is they need to get rid of the people that have this dinosaur of an idea about how they need a modern leader. And this to me is, I feel like that country is saying, no more of these types. We need somebody that knows the plight of the common person. And I believe that there's someone else Nine of Cups, the Tower. So the people that have been living high off the hog in their economy, so to speak, the people that have been living a very indulgent lifestyle, compared to the haves and the have-nots here, it's showing up, here's the Hermit. Then the economy is not, goods are not, really good, really nice goods are not accessible to everyone. And you could say that about the world, but it's really not there. And not that case in Russia. And so we see this hoarding going on. I feel like that is going to come tumbling down. I feel like this is those that have taken advantage and have been living a really affluent lifestyle, but maybe they're involved in things that are not on the up and up. It's just going to come down. Yeah, there will be a new start in Russia. They will get rid of him. And I feel like, again, it's going to be more of where the populace actually has more involvement in their real involvement in their elections and the decisions of that country. It's a new start after a great deal of suffering. And a great deal of unrest and upset. So then I see them working on extending trade, beginning. So they'll get back up, but their economy is going to get a warning to anybody that if they can see this, probably not in Russia, because that's the other thing. He controls everything. But their economy is going to really get bad, not surprisingly enough, with the sanctions that will be coming. And I believe it will lead to the loss of Vladimir Putin's power that as he has come to know and expect to hang on to. So there's your deep dive on Vladimir Putin.